Arsenal just getting over the line, beating Tottenham 3-2 in the North London derby, which was also Mikel's 100th win as Arsenal manager. It took him 169 games to get there, 10 fewer, in fact, than Arsene Wenger himself, which, if you ask me, is not too bad for Pep Guardiola's Krowned man. Speaking of Pep, City, still second place. They have beat Forest. They are right behind Arsenal, of course, in that game in hand. Arsenal sitting not so comfortably in first place. We know how good City are. We know that well-oiled machine and the experience they have at this stage in the season. Arsenal still in there, still have a chance to do it, but unfortunately at this stage, it is not in our hands. However, the next 3 games are so important. Just go there, get the job done, get the 9 points. And that's all you can ask for at this stage in the game. There's always next season to look forward to, a big summer. I know Mikel is looking for a midfielder, perhaps a striker, but we will leave that for another video. Kai Havertz, yet again, a man of the match against, like he was against Chelsea, against Tottenham Hotspur, a goal and an assist for him. He is coming up clutch like no other player. We talk about Trossard, the factor he has, the clutch factor he has, the way he can score goals, perhaps the best finisher at Arsenal. But I mean, me personally, I have never seen Havertz play a ball like he did the ball to Saka for to get that second goal. When you think about now these quotes from ex-players like Cesc Fabregas, who says that he reminds him of himself when he was at Barca. Thierry Henry has said that he reminds him of Robin van Persie. He was wanted at Bayern Munich. Real Madrid wanted to bring Kai Havertz before he came to Arsenal. I mean, are you starting to now come around to the idea of Kai Havertz being this humongous player for us? I mean, versatile. You talk about the versatility he has. Perhaps Arsenal's now most versatile player. And that's saying something, because you look at Tomiyasu, who can play center back, right back, left back. Ben White, who can play right back and in the middle. Zinchenko, obviously, definition of versatile. Even Bukayo Saka, of course, known playing left back. Obviously dangerous on the right, but Kai Havertz is, I have this discussion often with people when I'm watching games. Of course he can play as a 9, he can play in the midfield, of course. A lot of us prefer him up top as a 9. I think he offers a little bit more there. But even as the game goes on, and Arsenal, as they usually are, defending a lead, very, very, very seldom are they chasing after a game. Kai Havertz is such an important player because he can do all that dirty work that a player like Granit Xhaka was offering us last season. And when I'm having conversations with people and they're looking, maybe Kai Havertz has had an average game, perhaps he's had a very good game, and you're looking to maybe bring someone with a little more speed on, someone who can play a ball, behind a line to get an extra goal for safety. But what Kai Havertz offers you is just everything you need to keep your lead. He will come back and do the dirty work defensively. He will play a ball forward. He can stay up front and win a header from a goal kick or a cleared ball. Whatever it is, he does everything. And I myself was a little bit of a doubter, when he first came here, like everybody. I mean, I think you had to be. It was a natural feeling when you're watching the way he played, lacking confidence, lacking goals. He was lacking essentially everything up until, he was given that penalty to take, slotted it away, maybe a couple hairy games, afterwards. But since then, he's been really, really phenomenal, Kai Havertz has, and you have to hold your hands up and give him the credit he deserves. And the icing on the cake, shoving Madison, out of the frame of the picture, the tweet after the game. I mean, he is a phenomenal player. What a guy we have in Kai Havertz. More on the game now. You're talking about the Trossard, the shouts for a penalty against Leandro Trossard. This isn't a couple years ago. Like, if you want that to be a penalty in football, I mean, I'm sorry, but you have completely lost it. It's essentially no different than the penalty that was given to Wolves when David Luiz, I don't know how to put that in words. Not playing the ball, simply running behind a player, left his leg out, tripped himself up, fell over, given a penalty. If you're calling for a penalty for Kulusevski there, I think you are so far beyond saving. It's not even worth bringing that up. The Van de Ven goal called for offsides. It was clearly offsides. I see multiple opinions about Tomiyasu not meaning to play it. It bounces off Gabriel. those 2 points are completely irrelevant because he was offside when the ball was moving. That was the difference. We saw Romero tweeting and deleting tweets about how it was no different from West Ham. I suppose that's another story, players and social media, but people have this horrible habit of blending things together and pretending they're the same thing. I'll give you one example of things that are two different things, but should have culminated in two penalties. Is when we were playing Aston Villa earlier in the season, Douglas Luiz kicked Jesus' leg from out from under him. He's in possession of the ball. He's in the penalty box. He's about to take a touch, and Douglas Luiz kicks his leg out of the way. And it's no different from Declan Rice booting Ben Davis in the nuts. There's no difference there. Miss the ball. You hit the man, and the man is in possession of the ball. So for me, those are two examples of different scenarios that culminate in the same outcome. Right? It's not the same thing as as Van de Ven's goal being called offsides. It's totally different from the West Ham. Bowen was onside when the player took the shot. Van de Ven was offside when the player took the shot. So I don't know who needs to hear that. If logic is not your thing, then I suppose it's not going to matter that that's explained. But I had to get that out of the way just because the victory itself, it wasn't the best game from Arsenal. Obviously, the first goal was an own goal, two goals from a corner. Obviously, the Saka goal was a classic Arsenal goal, well worked. But I'm starting to say that goals from corners are also very Arsenal at that. So we have players like Gabriel winning every single ground duel, 100% of his ground duels won. Saliba, 100% of his aerial duels won. I mean, these two are so phenomenal. And when you have Tomiyasu now staying fit for a couple games, Thomas Partey staying fit, can they stay fit for the next 3 games to see out the rest of the season? Because it's always a but. But we can win these 3 games as long as these guys are staying fit, I think, especially Thomas Partey, because we are a phenomenal team without him. But with him, what he brings, this calmness, the experience he has, you see the way he looks, the little touches on the ball. He knows how to beat a man. He knows how to beat a man with a dribble, with a pass, with a first touch. Brilliant player, brilliant to have him back the last couple games. Thomas Partey has been absolutely fantastic. Now, it is somewhat of a long shot for Arsenal because these next 3 games are winnable, and you can't ask for more than Arsenal to just get these next 9 points. But you look at City, and they can win their next 4 games. I mean, they're already on I think a 20-game unbeaten streak in the Premier League. So what's 4 more games to them? So perhaps it is a long shot, but Arsenal by no means out of it. Now I'm sort of thinking, I want to pose the question to everyone else here. Excuse me. Has Mikel been saving Thomas Partey for this last stretch of the season? We know he was back fit. We saw him make a couple cameos. 2 games prior to the last 2 games, he hadn't featured at all. He didn't play against Villa, and where I think we definitely could have used him. Wasn't playing against Bayern Munich either, and obviously those 2 games cost us, but. Was he being saved? Was it a fitness question? I don't know. I'm interested to hear what you guys think on that question. So obviously let me know what you think down below. But just a monumental player for us. And if he can stay fit, like I said, it is a long shot, but winning the next 3 games, that's all you can really ask Arsenal to do. Now, just closing out the video here, I want to speak about Richarlison because this is a player that I personally have never liked. I didn't like him at Everton. I thought he had a very, very bad attitude, this sort of bratty, snotty, poopy pants attitude. Always in your face, can't take what he dishes out, likes to dive. The way he shouldered Gabriel and then all of a sudden he goes down on its own. It's the type of player who, there's players who you go, well, he doesn't play for me, but if he was on my team, I wouldn't mind him. But since he's not on my team, I don't like him. I don't think he fills that quota whatsoever. I think he is without a doubt, one of the most unlikable players in the Premier League, alongside probably Bruno Fernandes and Anthony. Now, I'm saying this, and he's come out in it takes a lot to speak about mental health struggles. He's been very open about it. I mean, that's something I personally can relate to. I'm sure a lot of you can. But after seeing, the way he was playing, his attitude again, I have no sympathy, watching him act out like he did. He's so unlikable. The fan that you saw shouting abuse at Declan Rice, and you know what? That's not a Tottenham. It's not a Tottenham fan thing. Everybody will do that. I understand, but the fact that he had Richarlison on the back of his jersey, it sort of summed everything up for me. It's one of those things, where you just it's the culmination of everything. His attitude, the attitude of that fan, all three of those fans yelling at him. It's just he is so past unlikable. For me, I just felt the need to put this in there. I mean, speaking of unlikable, James Maddison definitely up there with some of the most unlikable players. He was completely, he completely ghosted the game. James Maddison seems like a guy with a chip on his shoulder. It's almost like he's upset he's not at a bigger club. James Maddison, he sort of settled for a club he could wear the number 10 jersey for. That's my opinion, at least. Him in that midfield with Højbjerg and Bentancur, apparently Bentancur, the second coming of Zidane. Completely shut out by the Arsenal midfield. So let me just stop it there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, I do really appreciate it, and I will see you when I see you.